Your eye color isn't just a cosmetic detail, it's a biological record, evidence of how your ancestors survived, migrated, and adapted to vastly different environments across the planet. Today, more than 2/3 of humans have brown eyes. The remaining minority, those with lighter or mixed colors, carry genetic variations that reveal an extraordinary story of climate, movement, and evolution. When you look closely, your eye color tells a chapter of human history written in biology. Let's start with brown eyes. Brown eyes are nature's strongest defense system for vision. Their deep tone comes from melanin, a pigment that acts like built-in protection. High melanin levels absorb the majority of incoming light, reducing glare and shielding delicate eye tissues from ultraviolet radiation. For early humans living under intense sun exposure, especially near the equator, this wasn't about appearance. It was a survival advantage. Because melanin absorbs light instead of scattering it, people with brown eyes tend to perform better in bright conditions. Vision stays sharper, contrast clearer, and sensitivity to glare lower. This explains why brown eyes remain dominant in regions with strong sunlight. And while brown eyes often appear uniform, subtle amber or gold highlights can emerge in dim or warm lighting, not because the color changes, but because light interacts differently with the layered structure of the iris. Now let's move to blue eyes, one of the most fascinating genetic twists in human history. Every person with blue eyes today can trace that trait back to a single ancestor who lived several thousand years ago. A small genetic change effectively reduced melanin production in the iris. Before that moment, humans overwhelmingly had dark eyes. Blue eyes aren't blue because of pigment. In fact, there is no blue coloring in the iris at all. Instead, the low melanin content causes incoming light to scatter, reflecting shorter blue wavelengths back outward, much like how the sky appears blue. This is why blue eyes can look bright, pale, or grayish depending on lighting. This mutation spread rapidly as humans moved north into regions with weaker sunlight. One possible explanation is that reduced melanin allowed more light to reach the retina, improving visibility during long, dark winters. Another factor may have been attraction. Rare traits often stand out, and preference can accelerate genetic spread. Interestingly, ancient DNA shows that some early Europeans had blue eyes long before lighter skin evolved, overturning the idea that eye color changes were simply side effects of skin adaptation. Next are gray eyes, among the rarest eye colors in the world. Gray eyes contain even less pigment than blue eyes, but the way light disperses across the iris differs. Instead of reflecting primarily blue wavelengths, gray eyes scatter light more evenly, producing tones that range from silver to slate. Their color appears stable, cool, and muted. Researchers believe gray eyes may represent an extreme adaptation to low-light environments, particularly in northern climates with frequent cloud cover. This broad scattering of light can improve sensitivity, but offers less protection from UV exposure. Culturally, gray eyes are often associated with calmness, restraint, or emotional depth, perhaps because their subtle coloration makes expressions harder to read. Then there are green eyes, one of the rarest eye colors globally. Green eyes require an unusually precise genetic balance. Too much pigment and the eyes appear brown. Too little and they appear blue. Green eyes exist in the narrow middle ground, combining moderate melanin with a yellowish pigment that alters how light reflects. What makes green eyes especially distinctive is their variability. They can appear darker in shade, golden in sunlight, or even lean toward gray or hazel depending on surroundings. This responsiveness has fueled centuries of mythology, linking green eyes to mystery, intuition, and creativity. From an evolutionary perspective, green eyes may have offered flexibility in environments with mixed lighting, such as forests or mountainous regions. They provide partial protection from sunlight while still allowing enhanced light sensitivity. Genetically, green eyes appear more frequently in people of Celtic and Germanic descent, but they can occur anywhere given the right combination of genes. Now let's talk about hazel eyes. Hazel eyes are truly dynamic. Unlike most eye colors, hazel doesn't settle into a single shade. Instead, it shifts green, gold, brown, depending on lighting, clothing, and surroundings. This isn't an illusion. It's the result of intermediate pigment levels interacting with light in complex ways. Because hazel eyes sit between light and dark on the pigment spectrum, They offer versatility. They balance light sensitivity with UV protection, making them well-suited for environments with changing conditions. Genetically, hazel eyes often emerge in families with diverse eye colors, reflecting their blended origin. Their unpredictability has made them historically associated with expressiveness and emotional depth. No two hazel eyes look exactly alike. Next are amber eyes, which are often misunderstood. Amber eyes are not light brown or hazel. They are a distinct color created by high levels of yellowish pigment and very little melanin. The result is a rich golden or copper tone that remains consistent regardless of lighting. This eye color is common in certain animals known for heightened awareness, which may explain why amber eyes can feel intense or commanding. In humans, amber eyes are rare and may have spread more through visual distinction than environmental necessity. They appear most often in people of Southern European, Asian, or South American ancestry, but they can arise in any population. What about black eyes? True black eyes don't technically exist. What we perceive as black is actually an extremely dark brown iris with such high pigment concentration that almost no light reflects back. These eyes absorb light efficiently, reducing glare and offering maximum protection in intense sunlight. This makes them particularly advantageous in equatorial regions. The dense pigment also masks subtle pupil changes, which may explain why black eyes are often perceived as deep, intense, or unreadable. Finally, there's heterochromia. Heterochromia occurs when someone has two different eye colors or noticeable variation within a single iris. It's exceptionally rare and usually results from uneven pigment distribution during early development. Across cultures, heterochromia has often been seen as symbolic, representing duality, uniqueness, or otherworldly qualities, perhaps because it disrupts the symmetry we instinctively expect in faces. In the end, your eye color is far more than an aesthetic trait. It's a genetic record of where your ancestors lived, how they adapted, and what challenges they overcame. Whether shaped by blazing sun, dim winters, or shifting landscapes, each eye color reflects a strategy for survival. So the next time you look in the mirror, remember, you're not just seeing a shade. You're seeing thousands of years of human history looking back at you.